Hello and welcome to Expertage, a thought leadership initiative by QKS Group. I am Ajinkya Ingle, your host for today's insightful discussion. Expertage is designed to bring together industry leaders and experienced analysts to explore the critical topic within the information and technology domain, offering their valuable perspectives and knowledge sharing. And today we have an engaging discussions on the challenges and opportunities within FinOps and how leading industry strategies are shaping cloud cost management. As cloud cost continues to grow, the need for effective financial operations becomes even more critical. And today we will be exploring the primary challenges organizations face in raising awareness about FinOps, the industry verticals leading in FinOps adoptions, and how this transformation is impacting overall cloud strategies. And to discuss this, and we are excited to have with us Aviram Levy, who is the Senior Director at Zesty, who brings an extensive expertise in cloud management and FinOps. Along with Aviram, we are joined by Vaishali Moitra, who is the Senior Analyst at QKS Group. Aviram, Vaishali, welcome to Expertage. Vaishali, I would like to hand over the conversation to start our discussion today.
Thank you, Ajinkya, and thank you, Aviram, for joining us in this discussion. So, let me set the stage for the discussion. So, we will be talking about FinOps. As you know, organizations around the world are looking for solution to manage their cost effectively, and as they do so, they want to grow as well. So cloud adoption is increasing. It's not something people are not aware of, but businesses are embracing flexibility and scalability for their cloud infrastructure. However, this has led to new, I would say, challenges and opportunities for cloud spend. So FinOps is a crucial part where I think awareness lacks. People don't have lots of talks about it, and it's a very emerging thing that is going on. So, FinOps has emerged as a discipline to help organization manage and optimize their cloud spend, ensuring their financial accountability, stability across the organization. So, what are your views on the current state of the FinOps landscape, and what do you think are the primary challenges that organizations face right now in this space?
Great. So thank you for having me today. Yeah, I do agree. Organizations are moving to the cloud. This is a trend that we see in the last decade or more. And definitely, once you migrate to the cloud, there are new challenges. It's no longer capex, or meaning I'm paying for what I use with hardware and software. Adopting the cloud or using the cloud brings new challenges such as unexpected billing, and of course with the flexibility comes the bill eventually, right? Like you can do whatever you want, whatever you need. Every engineer in your organization is now able to launch whatever they want, and then there comes the payment, right? And the bill, and of course the governance, and the ability to understand why and for what I'm paying this bill. And yes, you mentioned that FinOps has become and emerged, I think 6 or 7 years ago, and now becomes a very critical role in many organizations. Yes, of course, not in every company you'll find a department or a team that handles that directly. In such cases, engineering teams handles billing and numbers, and I think that this is the first challenge for them, right? I never saw an engineer that likes to work with Excel sheets or either to understand finance on the other side. I never interviewed an engineer that told me, yes, I really like numbers and I really like to handle finance activities. So this is the first challenge, right? For small companies, mid-sized companies, the need for managing budgets and to predict something that is not that predictable is a problem. On the other end, if we look on large organizations like enterprises, mature corporations, ISVs, maybe digital native companies that were born on the cloud, or maybe started on-prem and moved fully to the cloud. We do see more adoption of practices of FinOps. We do see dedicated teams or persons that handles this kind of emerging FinOps agenda, right? And that's basically it. I think that if you don't have these teams, prioritization becomes a thing, right? You need to choose, okay, I'm doing cost reduction, cost optimization, efficiency, versus building my application, right? Building my company or the company that I belong to. And this is another big challenge that we see in the industry in the last few years. Yeah, so that's basically it, right? Like prioritization versus dedicated team, whether I have it or not, to handle FinOps practices.
Also, adding to your point, Aviram, I feel lack of real-time visibility into their cloud cost is a bigger issue. Organizations, especially small and mid-sized organizations, they don't realize that how much they are losing because they don't take it very seriously. They don't prioritize the wastage. They don't track. That's a bigger issue. Monitoring tracking is a bigger issue. Visibility should be like monitored, and they should be like every day, or whatever the protocols are, they should be monitored regularly. Real time visibility, I think this is what is lacking for most of the businesses that are around here. Yeah, the other 2 points that you mentioned, of course, those 2 points. Also, I feel collaboration is a very important point between these departments. Uh, as we know, it's easier to say when we say the three departments they need to collaborate, but when you have to do it in real grounds, it's not that easy as we say. But yeah, I think collaboration and a shared perspective towards a shared goal is important. Apart from that, I feel some tools to manage those things. You can't just depend on your Excel or anything. You need a specified tool to monitor and track these things. It is very important. Now we are at a very nascent stage of automation. I know that when I say this controversial statement, but yes, we are very nascent stage of automation. People are automating, but yeah, I have opinion that we are in a very nascent stage, and it's easier to say like we can automate all the visibility, the monitoring, but when we do it in real life, it actually brings a lot of challenges to a lot of departments, because we are not talking about a single department that is here. We are talking about multiple departments, multiple people working all together. So it will create a lot more bigger challenge in real life than what we have imagined. So yeah, I think these are the few problems that are there in the existing market. So what do you think the best practices to deal with these challenges or to overcome these challenges?
Yeah, so of course, like if we look at cloud vendors, they provide customers with the simple visibility tools, right? If it's AWS, you get Cost Explorer, and like you have like basic solutions to, I wouldn't call it monitor, right? Like if you like to build a report or if you know what you are doing, yes, you'll be able to see the cost breakdown. So first, yes, companies adopt visibility solutions, third parties, or either like also the cloud solutions, right? They are not that bad. Again, here comes again the prioritization, right? Like you need to find time to dedicate enough time to build whatever you need. So yes, definitely, and I do agree that automation it's in initial phases, right? So automation has much more room to grow in the industry, but even if you do automation, you'll need visibility eventually. Okay, you need to monitor the automation. You need to see that what you aimed or targeted to is working. So best practices around that is, yes, definitely you need and define mutual goals and KPIs within the company, percentage or dollar amount that you want to save every quarter, measuring unit economics, like how much it costs me to run a user or a company or a customer that I am serving. So once you define the basics KPIs or the basics goals, it is much easier to prepare and create and build visibility or use third-party tools to have report and dashboards, alerts, and monitors to get to see the results, right? To see if what you are measuring is relevant and happening. So this is the first best practices. As with regard to collaboration, again, if you are tackling large companies that has dedicated teams, it is much easier for them because they dedicate enough time to talk with the leaders in the company. And I think that once you start and do FinOps within the organization, you need the executive leadership back, right? Like they need to allow you to contact the teams. They need to give you the mandate to change things or to adopt new processes around the company. So, so sometimes there are companies that comes bottom up, right? Like they come from the engineering side and do the change from the bottom. In other companies that we see, like many enterprises usually, it comes from the management side and goes down, right? Like the CFO and the COO decides on a goal, and then the mission or the target comes to the relevant teams. For doing that, they definitely must implement something to help them to measure, to get visibility, and of course, probably the tools or the way to achieve the targets will be with automation, manual effort, projects, processes, and many other things that the organization needs to implement. So my second recommendation or best practices that I see in the industry is after you define the KPI, make sure that you are able to achieve it, right? Or to get at least closer to the target. Then find the right solution for your company. Sometimes we see companies build in-house solutions like BI tools, Power BI, Tableau, and other things. In other cases, yes, I saw many companies use Excel, but it's not scalable, of course. And some others purchase like third-party solutions. Of course, Zesty is offering one of them in the industry, but yeah, there are many mature tools for visibility, strategy, and the third thing, after you have all this in-house, you must define strategy, right? Like you need to tag everything, and you need to make sure that you are able to identify specific costs and to attribute them to a specific department. So these are, let's say, the first three steps and best practices that a company should have before they try to implement FinOps practices.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, completely agree with whatever you said. Also, I feel that businesses should have their own FinOps maturity model to see where they stand right now, where they want to be. Are they in the right direction or not? If they want to pivot, it's very important to self-assess yourself where you are standing right now, where you want to be in the future, or you are going in the right direction or not. It is very important to do that. That is one thing. Tools that you mentioned, bang on, it's very important. We are in nascent stage, but yeah, we have some very good tools in the market that can cater to the needs that yeah. And also I feel um a strategy that can enhance the collaboration between these three teams that are coming together. It's very important so that friction is lesser. I am not saying that friction will be reduced to zero, but the goal should be the lesser the friction, the more will be the output. So I feel that there should be certain type of strategies or some models, and you have already mentioned KPIs and everything. So it is very important to monitor where we are going, what we want to achieve, and also with the advancement that is there in the market, you should leverage that. It is very true. You have captured all this space. So how you think that what will be the future of FinOps space and how this market will shape in future, and what are your views on it for the future?
Yeah, so like it's a very long discussion that we are having with within the industry and also with customers, and it's really cool to see that every company looks at FinOps differently, right? But then there are the big players that try to shape the future or to at least put their agenda within the future. So definitely, and we see it at Zesty, right? We do automation for companies. We have two engines that automate things, such as managing commitments and EBS volumes. And we also have visibility platform. And we do see that we do think that the future will be automation, right? Like even building the visibility should be automated, right? Like within few clicks. You don't need to be a BI expert. Later, I think that the most common thing for all products in the industry will be, okay, these are the problems that you have. This is the standard, the industry standards. And you are far, or you get a score between what you are doing now or what you have now versus the industry or versus the standard. Later, it's for sure, like the next coming years will be automation. Around automation, we 100% sure about it, that companies will want to focus on their businesses. Okay, whether if it's automation for building internal processes or either taking the permissions on behalf of the customer and take actions. So for that, by the way, companies will have to trust vendors or other solutions that do things on their behalf, right? It's like, oh my God, you're going to change my production? Yes, we are going to adjust your resources as much as needed, right? We are not, hopefully we are not going to destroy your production environment. And definitely automation will be part of it. We also see very good trends in the industry in respect of technology, right? Containers, Kubernetes. Yes, if like a few years ago, big data was the big thing. Now we see big data and AI runs on containers. So we do see the industry embrace technologies that run automation in scale. And on the other side, we do see the industry find it very difficult to manage these automations, right? Like if you do Kubernetes yourself, it might be very hard for you to be excellent and to be the most efficient. So the other side of that is that I have Kubernetes, I am efficient, but I'm not fully configured as efficient as I should be. So yes, definitely the market goes, and I think that the last few years show that very well, like COVID and the recession in the markets, and even in the startup industry, we do see VCs not investing in the last 2 years as much as they invested in 2021 and 2020. We do see companies understand the new normal, right? Like I need to be super efficient, I need to be very lean, and I need to use things that help me to achieve that with the minimum amount of people.
Yeah. And we missed a very important point, like you just mentioned, awareness. Awareness is something people know, but they don't want to think about it. They are
Yes,
just thinking in terms of how much I will save. They are not thinking how much I am wasting right now. They
correct.
just want quick results. You can't get quick results, and there should be awareness between the team members, the different levels of hierarchies. Awareness is very important when it comes to this space. Uh, so yeah, so I know FinOps, like it's not a very old concept. It's comparatively new to all the other concepts. So there are challenges, but yes, this scape is evolving at a very fast pace. And with the automation tools and collaboration and monitoring and visibility tools, I think we're gonna enhance in this section, in this space, and there's a lot more to look forward in this space. So yeah, that's all from my side. And yeah, thank you, Aviram. Over to you, Ajinkya.
Thank you, Aviram and Vaishali, for such an insightful discussion. Your insights into the challenges and strategies surrounding FinOps and cloud cost management has provided a deeper understanding on how organizations can overcome obstacles and lead in this space. To our audience, thank you so much for joining us today on Expert Edge. We hope you found this session informative and inspiring. Stay tuned for more such discussions with the industry leaders and experts. Until next time, keep exploring and innovating in the cloud and FinOps domains. Goodbye.